Hello. Okay, next tutorial. This time I dressed up as a rustic skeleton pirate. Yeah, why not? I got this amazing costume from buycostumes.com and I really wanted to do something like inspired by it. So yeah, I hope you like my take on this kind of old rustic looking skeleton pirate. Just a fun one really. So yeah, if you'd like to learn how to recreate this makeup, stay tuned. So before I apply my bald cap, I just want to talk to you guys about the prosthetics that I'm going to be using. So a couple months ago, I came across a company that sells foam latex prosthetics, and they're just the most beautiful pieces ever. They're motionpictureeffects.com. I'll pop the link here. They're actually made by RBFX, and I'll pop their website here as well. I came across them a couple months ago, and I used the pieces for my necromancer tutorial, which I'll pop the link on the screen somewhere here. And I just kind of fell in love with their pieces. They're stunning. I mean, I'm not necessarily a fan of buying pieces that are already made usually, because I like making my own stuff. But having said that, when I saw these pieces, they looked too good to be true, but when I got them, they really are that amazing. And I'll show you the piece that I'm going to be using now, which is the skull prosthetic. Isn't it awesome? I'm going to be cutting the teeth out, obviously, so I can actually talk and articulate with it, but they're just beautiful pieces. The edges are incredible. I don't know if you can see how thin they are. They're just wow. Before I apply my prosthetic, I'm going to apply a plain latex bald cap. So I'll pop a link on the screen here to the tutorial where I teach you guys how to apply a bald cap, just so I don't have to recap it in this video to make things go a bit quicker. So I'm going to apply my bald cap and I'll get back to you. Make sure to cover your ears as well, because I think a skeleton with ears might look a bit weird. There we are. So after I applied my bald cap, I went around the edge with a few layers of liquid latex. It didn't matter too much here, but because the piece pretty much covers that, but I went over the areas that are going to be on show, about 3 to 4 layers of liquid latex just to blend the seam. Then I'm going to take some Pro Stick and I'm going to take my prosthetics and I'll apply some Pro Stick all to the back of my pieces just to let that dry so it's got a nice barrier built up. Then I can take the Pro Stick and a cotton bud and just apply that in the areas that I want to stick the pieces down in. Then I'm going to take the piece and I'm going to line the lip piece up to my own lip and then just press the whole thing down, making sure there's no air pockets underneath. Then, taking a new cotton bud and some more Pro Stick, I'm just going to really lightly brush over the edge all the way around this piece. So work really slowly and just keep rolling the glue away from the piece. Then, whilst that's drying, I'm going to do exactly the same method using the bottom of the prosthetic. So there we are. So now onto the foundation. So the palette I'm going to be using is a Life Colour palette. It's one of Neil Galton's alcohol activated palettes, similar to the Skin Illustrator palettes. And the idea is I'm going to use a mixture of peaches and browns to spackle the colour on over the piece. Just get like a really rustic bone colour. So the idea is to use 99% alcohol, spackle the colour on. The reason I'm using an alcohol activated palette, by the way, is just it looks really, really translucent and just, I really like the effect it gives when you spackle different shades on. So just spackle the colour. Don't worry about doing like a block of colour, just spackle it in random areas and then you can go in between with other colours just to really add a nice texture in. So if you are using this palette, I'm using a mixture of sandstone and light chestnut, just spackling it in between. So where the hollows are, I'm using the dark chestnut, and around the mouth area, the rest of it is going to be that sandstone colour. Then, whilst that base is drying, I'm going to take a M.A.C black Chromacake watercolour and I'm going to apply that all to the outside of this bald cap. I was going to originally paint the entire skull, but I would much rather have this peering out of the shadows, so I'm going to stop the colour about here so I can have this as skull colour and then fading off into the black, but I want a block black colour there. Plus I'm going to be having a hat on as well, so a lot of this is going to be covered, but I do want the rest of it to be peering out of the shadows. So I'm just going to brush this towards the centre of the face. Then I'm going to take a Makeup Forever Flash palette and I'm going to use the black from that palette, which is just like a really nice thick cream, and I'm going to apply that all around the edge where I've done the black here, and I'm going to blend that towards the centre of the face so there's no harsh edge. Okie dokie, so as I said, I'm not going to focus too much on this area because the hat that I'm going to be using actually covers most of that, so I'm not going to focus anything there really. So now I've done that, I'm going to work on colouring the insides of the eyes and the mouth. So taking my Makeup Forever Flash palette, I'm going to use the black from that and I'm going to colour that on the inside of the mouth and the eye sockets. The reason I'm using a cream is because it just makes things look a lot deeper when it reflects the shine back. It's a really nice way of getting depth. For the teeth, I'm going to take the alcohol activated palette again, and I'm going to use the really light colour, which is the sandstone. I'm going to apply that in a block colour just over the teeth. Then I'm going to take the brown from that palette, which is the chestnut colour, and I'm going to use that to go around the edges and in between each tooth, just sweeping it towards the middle. Then I'm going to start adding some extra shadows in, so I'm going to blend around the edge without adding any extra colour, just taking a fluffy brush. I'm going to blend the black just ever so slightly, about ½ centimetre towards the outside. Same with this as well. I'm just going to blend these so the blood towards the centre of the face, and everything else here goes outwards, just so it looks more like it's peeking through rather than a block colour. So I went completely off on a tangent here. I started blending the black out, and then I realised it gave this really cool grayscale effect with the fleshy tone, and it just looked really cool, I think. So I think I'm going to extend that going across the face. I kind of like it. So all I've literally done is I've taken a tiny bit of the water and I'm blending the cream outwards without adding any extra black cream. I really like the grayscale of it, and it kind of does go with the costume. Then I'm going to take the black cream again, and I'm just going to go in the hollow areas of the sculpt, and just going to do one line going across and then sweep the colour downwards just so it looks like a shadow. And I'm also going to go down the hollows of in between each tooth, so I'm going to spike the black cream downwards and upwards in between each area so it trails off. And I'm also going to use the black again just to go in the areas where there are cracks built into the prosthetic, just to really highlight them. Then I'm just going to take the M.A.C black Chromacake watercolour, and I'm going to paint the rest of my neck. Then, just for a laugh, I'm going to take some Graftobian powdered metal, and I'm going to mix that with some Magic Set fluid by Graftobian, and it makes like a really liquid gold. It's gorgeous. And I'm going to apply that onto one of my teeth just to make it a bit more piratey, I think. Yeah, isn't that nice? I really love the powdered metal by Graftobian. It's gorgeous. Then I'm just going to pop in my contact lenses, my costume, and we'll see what we've got. And there we go, that's the look complete. So I finished the look off by putting in 2 sclera contact lenses, one that's completely blacked out and one that's got the white in the centre. I just thought it's like a cool take on an eye patch. So like one bad eye and one sort of good eye. The costume is like a zombie skeleton pirate costume, which I got from buycostumes.com, which I'll pop on the screen here, and also pop the link in the description bar below. It's really what inspired this makeup because it's such a cool idea. I love the hands. And I thought it'd make a change from doing like a generic Grim Reaper. I thought it might be more fun to give it more character, more of a twist. Yeah. Definitely check out Motion Picture Effects. I'll pop the link again there just because these prosthetics are amazing. And I'll also pop the website directly to RBFX there as well, just in case. So yeah, that's my rustic looking skeleton pirate makeup. I really hope you guys enjoyed it. If you like it, please make sure to, you know the usual, rate, comment, subscribe and all that jazz, because it super helps me out. And yeah, so until next time, bye guys.